What about Rebecca?
Rebecca is our technical assistant running the meeting for us.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Because Courtney beat feet out of town and left Rebecca with our meeting.
All right.
She left the
Okay.
trail.
Is it, I guess it's, who's Rebecca Eldridge?
She is the committee secretary who's doing the meeting for us.
Oh,
I'm not taking the minutes?
No, you can take the minutes, but Rebecca will manage the meeting and also make sure it gets recorded.
Okay.
Okay, good.
yeah. All right. Well, we might as well get started then. So I will open the meeting and has anyone had a chance to review the minutes from last time?
I did.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
did.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
Sarah,
that they
I did.
were, I had quite a discussion with Patty trying to get these more concise, but I don't know, her computer and mine didn't seem to cooperate, so.
I have
Anyway,
one
they look all right to
small
me.
typo that I picked up.
Yeah.
Under
Mine
old
was pretty
business,
clear.
under old business on the fourth line, or I don't know, my fourth line, it said the word, it says placed, place, it should say placed. And the sentence that said the request of the name change be, and then the word, the D is
It's
left.
placed, yeah, on the
Okay.
selectmen's agenda, right.
Okay,
Other than that, I didn't find anything.
all right.
No, I don't see
Hello.
anything else either.
Does
So
Terry know
I-
that the meeting's on? The COA board if she wants to dial in?
Yeah, so shall we move to accept the minutes as amended?
Yes,
I'll
Let's-
second your motion, Diane.
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Good. I'll second. Sarah.
You can third it. Can we have Suzanne? Director's report?
No, we have to vote on those.
We have to vote on the
Robin.
minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
See, I need to give up this job. I can't get the voting part of it. Okay.
All in favor?
No, you're
Aye.
fine, Robin.
Aye,
Aye.
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 All right. Now, Suzanne.
Sorry, I was trying to have a conversation with Sally at the same time as I was
Oh.
attending the meeting. Not a very effective thing to do.
No.
Director's report, we're pretty much status quo. We had talked about opening up the building in some fashion to limited kinds of activities, but that meant that we would also be opening up the building for all committee meetings and any other activities because you just can't be selective about it. So I have decided with the rising numbers and the metrics that I am not comfortable opening the building at this point because of
Here,
the
here.
growing numbers of COVID, of cases in Massachusetts.
Here, here.
So Suzanne, you couldn't just open it for a limited exercise class. It would have to
I
be.
cannot.
Okay.
You know, you have to open it for everything or nothing.
Right, and we don't have the capacity or the staff to clean and sanitize after every use.
Now, yeah, that's a big problem.
But we're still able to do Frank's appointments, right, Susan?
Oh, those are one-on-one. Anything that's one at a time that we have total control over, and at the end of the day, I mean, Frank sanitizes in between patients, and then the DPW sanitizes the room and the restrooms after people have come to their feet appointments. We also will do fuel assistance appointments by one-on-one, and because it's open enrollment coming up, we will do health insurance
Yeah,
appointments.
Medicare
one-on-one.
for Linda.
We're going to try to do them by phone as much as possible, but if someone can't hear or just needs to be here, we will be able to accommodate them.
Excellent.
Oh, that's good.
And we continue the Friday food program, which Marianne gets more and more inspired. Last Friday there was quiche with asparagus and two other vegetables, mushrooms, and I can't remember the third one, and roasted winter vegetables and homemade cookies. And I mean, just amazing
Yeah.
food goes out of here.
Great.
because this woman starts from scratch, including the crust for the quiche. So we're
Yeah.
Wow.
So Suzanne, Suzanne, how does that program work?
right now. There's the grant from the Elder Services, our formula grant from the Commonwealth pays for Mary Ann's wages, and we're getting donations, both individual and from organizations, from the community to cover the cost of the food and the packaging, and all volunteers deliver.
So folks that want food need to contact you?
Well, there's a parameter. You have to be living alone and unable to get out of the house, not at all, but in general, because this list was populated by the Mustard Seed Kitchen, by the Reassurance List at the police station, and from maybe a dozen or maybe more than a dozen people that we had on our radar that need this kind of service. But it isn't just because you need food, because we can't accommodate families. We can't accommodate couples. We have some couples because one of them's a caregiver for the other one. But right now we're at our max. We're like at 54 meals, 52, 54.
Yeah, it's
Good,
also a very,
I'm sorry? Oh, I've just been corrected. 5 couples.
yeah, I was gonna say, I have quite a few couples on my list.
Yep.
It's also very touchy-feely. I mean, for a lot of reasons. I mean, understanding that people don't need more help than they're getting. And, they say things like, I wait for Fridays all day just to have a chance to talk to somebody, and I love the food. And I mean, it's a great thing, really.
It is a great thing. And I think that, as Robin just said, that the human connection of the person bringing your food, and because Emily from the police station threw it all onto her computer and made everybody's route in a certain part of town so that people don't end up zigzagging from South Wellfleet to North Wellfleet and in between. You see the same person every week. So there is a relationship. Laura has her hand up, Patty.
I just have it's a quick question. You're not accepting, I have someone in my neighborhood who, a local woman, and she meets all those criteria. And you're not accepting any new people
Well,
into.
it depends on capacity, because we may have capacity. So give Terry a call, and because she's the one that maintains the list, and
Right, I'll do
and
that.
you guys
Thank
can
you.
have the discussion on the phone about it.
All
But
right,
that's good.
perfect.
We don't want to not, but we can't overburden Mary Ann and her one woman preparation of 50 plus meals.
Okay.
The other thing I would say, if you don't mind my interrupting, is if anybody's interested, like, we have about 10, 11 on our list, Tom and I do. Fortunately, he's very patient. But sometimes if you can't do it, rather than piling on somebody else so they've got 20 or more, if somebody wants to be like on reserve, that would be great. Unless Sally
Reserve.
has people. I don't
This
know.
is for delivery?
Yeah.
Robin, for delivery. You can put me on reserve.
Yeah, I
You
figured
can do,
maybe.
I can do the same.
Well, Terry is
Ro-
listening in on this meeting, and so I'm sure she's writing this down, and
Yeah,
she
Robin.
will let you know.
I'd be
Yeah,
glad to help.
Happy to be on.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Terry, that's Evelyn and Diane and Laura.
Yeah, well, we'll all be willing to help.
Yeah, because I think
know,
this
that's
winter
the
is going to be
thing.
hard for people, harder
It's
than
a
it has been.
very, I mean, to me, it's more beneficial to me than it is to them. I mean, it's just because, it's something we can do, and we're all desperate to do something for people.
Right.
But,
Okay, and the other thing I wanted to tell you about was that the state convention of COA directors is normally held in a hotel in Falmouth, and I've never been able to attend the 3 or 4 days stretch and because the workshops are spread over 4 days, and it just didn't work out. But this year it's virtual. So Monday I attended a class on keeping your building clean during COVID, which sounds really boring, but I did learn some interesting things.
Yeah.
And then today I have Terry and Sally each attended a couple classes yesterday. And today, they have a class this afternoon, and then I have 2 classes. One is called Alexa and Virtual Vacations. Which I think is an interesting class, because if people already have Alexa in their lives, this would be a way to also enjoy sort of like a travel log. And then because I'm a geek, my second class is on the software, my senior center, that you all reliably swipe in on when you come into the senior center. So that's in a time of COVID, it's a really good way to go to workshops, because all of you have attended many workshops in your lives. And in my mind, if I can bring home 1 or 2 nuggets from a workshop, it's worth the time invested. So I'm happy that this came online. They might do a hybrid version of it next year, have some in person and some online for people, because I think it is pretty popular.
Okay, thank you for going.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's great. Yeah.
And the flu clinic was successful, I assume.
Oh, Terry and Sally did such a good job with the flu clinic.
Thumbs up.
We're getting
Right, Ray.
congratulatory emails and all kinds of positive response on Facebook.
It
So
was the
Oh,
most
good.
efficient thing. It was fantastic.
if we can get the weather to cooperate every year, I don't have a problem doing it that way. I think it
No.
worked out.
Gal and I went to the one at Outer Cape Health. They had a little tent outside, and it worked out perfect for us, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, well, not having to park and haul yourself out of your car and come inside and fill out the paperwork and
Yeah.
wait for your turn,
Yeah.
I think appeals to a bunch of people, especially these
Oh,
days
yeah.
where you get the least exposure that way.
That was wonderful.
Seamless.
Of course, I had to sit down with a nurse because, you know.
Well, you are, you're a special case,
I
right?
know.
But at least you own it. What can I tell you?
That's right. I don't deny
yeah,
it.
you're just a needle freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have a
Anyway,
question.
Yes, Evelyn has her hand up, Robin.
she does?
In their picture, yes.
Okay.
I
so,
don't actually, oh, okay. I didn't see, yeah.
I
Raise your
wonder-
hand again.
Do you see
Oh,
it?
okay, now I see it.
Okay.
hey, Evelyn.
How did the grant submission go? Is that all in for the walking trail?
Well, in talking it over with several people who know more about the CPC than I do, they suggested that I go for the planning money through the town and then the construction money through the grant. So it'll be this year, that'll go into my capital budget request, the planning money. And then when I know exactly the cost, a year from now, I'll go for the construction money.
Oh,
So it's the
okay.
same time frame as asking for the
Yeah.
planning money and then the construction money. It's just a different source. So
Can you
yes.
explain that to I don't know what you're
Sure.
talking about.
Back in 2013, when we received the bequest from Jack Meredith and decided to put in a garden and a patio and a walkway, the complete plan showed a walking trail that went all the way around through the woods, around the community garden and back to the COA for a half a mile. And then of course I ran out of money. And I've always wanted to finish that up because it would provide a level, protected from the wind and weather, walking trail in the cold and windy months, which would be more conducive than walking at the pier, which everybody likes. So I have the original schematic, and I have been working with the assistant DPW director, Jay Norton. He has software that helped me figure out how many square yards had to be cleared and graded, which will help give us a cost for the project. And it would be, I think it's going to be 5 feet wide unless the ADA thinks it should be 6 feet wide, which will add another 20% of cost, but we'll figure that out. A walkway that is able for people who are able-bodied walkers and people who have less or have some mobility issues. You could even, at this particular walkway, if you're using a walker or a cane, quite reliably make your way around the half mile. There will be places along the trail where it's cleared for a bench if people want to rest. And originally I had wanted to put exercise machines at intervals, but that gives the insurance company a horror. So I don't think we're going to do exercise machines that cannot be overseen by staff at any, particular moment. So good idea, Suzanne, bad outcome possibly. But I think the benches and the ability to walk, we might even like do 2 chairs and a chessboard / checkerboard in concrete at some point to give people a chance just to sit and chat while they're up there walking through the woods. But it requires engineered plans, so that will be for this year. And then if the engineered plans come back and we go out to bid, which would probably be in the late summer or in September, about a year from now, then we would be able to do construction in 2 years from now. So that's where it is.
It's too bad, because that's something that would be nice to have sooner.
Yeah, well, given the vagaries of town funding, that's how everything takes 3 years.
Yeah. Another question on that. That'll go before town meeting then next year as part of your capital budget. So we should all be there to support it, right? I know it's months away, but
well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a rough estimate of costs, so that normally plans are 10% of a rough estimate. And that's before I can do my budget request, which is due the end of this week. So I'm almost there. And I'm going to err on the side of asking for a little bit more than I think I need, because I can always turn the money back, but I can't scrounge more up if I underestimate.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Great.
As long as I live long enough to see it happen, Diane will be all set.
God only knows.
We're all gonna live long enough. We're gonna
Good,
get
we
through
can
this.
have,
As
We've
long
all
as we
had
can
our
get out and
flu
use
shot.
it, yeah.
yeah, I think it'll be really popular because you'll be able to come here and park in a nice parking area, access the trail right from the parking area. With any luck, our building will once again be open to the public, so there'll be restrooms and people in case there's a question or a problem. So I think it'll work
No,
really
it'll
well.
be great.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that is the
Anything
end,
else?
except I have to say that I'm really very grateful to my staff, especially Terry and Sally, who worked so many hours planning the flu clinic, and also John Ryerson, who works for the beach program, but willingly came to lend his parking lot and parking skills to the whole process. So I'm very grateful.
Great. Yeah.
Wonderful. Good.
That's
No,
good.
we're all very grateful to Sally and Terry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They've been
I thought the
wonderful.
latest newsletter was terrific. I told
Yeah.
Jerry that.
Yes.
Suzanne,
And we
Suzanne,
did bring
Brian-
those.
Brian,
yeah, Suzanne, I mean, in case you're leaving shortly, can we go through the line of march for the select board meeting?
oh,
Yeah,
no problem.
What to do and what I
Yeah.
should-
You will need to sign into their Zoom meeting the same way you signed into this Zoom meeting. There'll be, if you go to once it's posted on the website, on the calendar, you go to the date, which I believe is the 27th, and click on the select board meeting. And then there'll
Okay.
be a Zoom link to click on
Oh,
on that
okay.
date. Then when you get in, you have to wait your turn on the agenda. But the way Courtney runs the meeting, it's a split screen. So the agenda's on part and you can see whoever's speaking on the other part. So they go through the agenda and then the chair will ask if there's anyone there to speak to this request. And I will let Courtney know that that we anticipate that you are speaking to it, Brian. So your name should be on the agenda. They won't be fumbling around asking who's going to speak to it. They'll ask for you.
Okay.
But, Suzanne, also, could you explain to us, we all want to be there to support him, but
So you do the
what do
same
we
thing.
do?
You do
Huh?
the same thing. You do the same thing. You go to the town website, click on the 27th, find the select board meeting, click on that Zoom link, and then you'll be one of 40 or 50 people at the meeting. And I will talk to the chair and see if he's going to allow comments from the audience or whether he just wants the board to discuss it. So
yeah, that's what I wondered, because I'm thinking like Laura, because she met with the town. I mean, I don't know how much resistance we're going to get, but knowing the board,
you
I
never
assume
know.
there'll be crazy
Yeah.
stuff going on. But because, you know, I mean, she met with the town. She does have some more insight than some of us. And I was hoping that maybe they'd let us, if there is a discussion, let us talk, but maybe not.
Well, I think if Brian says I'm here and I'm all, and other members of the select board, and then he says a few names are also here to speak to this, if you have any questions, I
Right.
think it'll be allowed.
Yeah.
All right. What time does the select board meet then?
This time of year, it starts at 7 a.m.
Seven.
PM. I'm
AM?
sorry. No, sorry. PM.
I was going to say.
I'm looking at the memo that we sent to them and trying to anticipate what they might ask. For example, we're saying there's no cost involved other than a new sign, and they're going to say, who's going to pay for that? Would the Friends be willing to pay for that, or are we going to have to ask?
I can't speak for the Friends, but I think it's a reasonable request.
Mhm. Yeah, I would say that's a reasonable request.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karen
Well,
here, I agree with that. Yeah.
So if they should ask me, well, hey, who's going to pay for this cockadoodle idea you people have cooked up with the sign, I would say, oh, well, our good friends will. Okay, all right.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of the paperwork is electronic, the letterhead and all that stuff. And so starting from the time they agreed to it, we could just go forward and edit whatever paperwork we're sending out to read with the new name if it's agreed to.
Yeah.
So that I don't, and the newsletter can certainly have a big article about it to explain it to people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it'll take about a year and people will call it the senior center forever. But
Yeah.
I think for the nuts and bolts, it'll take about a year to get everything. Because every once in a while, something's going to pop up that I didn't think about and I'll have to change it. So.
Okay. Another thing is our basic assertion, as you know, is that we're trying to expand participation in the programs at the senior center. So if they should ask, well, how many people participate now, and how many more do you think you might be able to attract? What would be a good answer for how many people roughly participate nowadays?
Well, what I will do is I'll run the report from my senior center for the calendar year 2019, because I don't think calendar year 2020 will give us accurate numbers.
No.
And then I can, I'll email you those figures, Brian, so you have them.
Okay.
But Brian, also maybe new programs that younger people would be more interested in. I mean, you know.
Well, I think that one of the things you could offer as a bridge during the pandemic is to maybe sponsor a community meeting or offer up an email for people to send questions or suggestions to the board, because you're not only working on the name change, that gives you the jumping point where you're going to be able to offer, when the building's open, additional programming.
Right.
Of course, it means additional staffing too, so you're going to have to fight that battle.
Can you think of anything else that they might want to bring up that I want to be fluent in my answer to?
Brian, I have no way of predicting what's going to come up. Basically, if you're not talking about water or the harbor, you're probably pretty safe.
Brian, you are a brave man. That's all I can say.
Yes.
No,
we all appreciate it.
They're very reasonable in their way, as long as it's not a hot button item, you know. And I don't think this is a hot button item. I think this is something that falls in the touchy-feely category. So I think we're all set.
All right, great. All right, good. Well, thanks for that. I think I have.
There's a hand raised.
Yeah, Laura has her hand up. Robin.
Robin, there's a hand.
I can't see these hands. I better put my glasses on.
Robin,
Okay,
I just have-
Laura?
I just have a question. The meeting is this month on the 27th, is that correct?
Yes.
Let me just look at my,
Well, I will attend that. I just feel like this is going to be a lovely thing for the town. And I don't think the select board, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think anybody would be against this. I just think it'll be a nice, easy, smooth.
I don't think they'll be
Maybe the more
against
of
it.
us
I
that
think
come,
they
the
just
better.
like to talk. I mean, I think no matter what you bring up, you know, it's the clouds or the rain or whatever. It's there's one person that really likes.
Yeah.
well, the only other thought they're going to ask, Brian, maybe who else, what other senior centers have renamed themselves? And you can
Oh,
tell
that's a
them that there is a movement in Massachusetts, at least, to rebrand community senior centers to be more inclusive. And on the Cape, the biggest senior center, Barnstable, has become the adult community center.
Okay, that's
So that's a good thing.
So no.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I mean, it's like local, and yet it's also statewide. So it gives them, we're not just like the only blackberry floating in the pail of milk, you know, where we have something going on.
That's a new one.
That's a great.
That's
a
my
great
father
metaphor.
speaking.
That's a great metaphor, I'll tell you.
That's my father speaking. Sorry.
Is that? Do you feel
So
better,
that's the end of
Brian?
my.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm
Good.
all set.
I will be there if we remember.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything to add with Suzanne's discussion? Then I'm gonna call on the friends. So,
Okay.
you want to talk about that, Evelyn?
Sure. We met on September. No. Where are we? October
29th?
1st. We met on October 1st, and actually we were able to meet in the back. Unfortunately, it had to be rescheduled from Tuesday to Thursday, but anyway, we had a quorum. So we're really on hold right now for a lot of things. Steve, our treasurer, reported that we have a healthy bank account of $6,380. We've gotten some donations, and some
Okay, thank you.
seem to have appreciated the fact that we extended the membership and sent a letter to all the members, but some people have still sent in membership for this year. So we're going to do a push in April when things hopefully have some promise of reopening. I don't know, for membership that would start July 1st. Suzanne gave us a report, so it's pretty, you pretty much heard the most up-to-date stuff today. And we're going to continue to meet not as frequently as we had, probably not till after the first of the year. And we have supported, we did give money to the Friday program, $500, and we're on record that if it was needed again, as we get into the new year and funds are getting short, right now, my understanding is that there are sufficient funds. But anyway, we would be willing to give another a set of money for. Also, Suzanne, you had talked about some of the programs that will be offered on TV for seniors.
Oh, thank you, Evelyn. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah,
Melissa just finished filming a half-hour seated exercise class clip, and it will be added to half-hour clips from the other senior centers and their instructors from Brewster to Provincetown. And it'll be shown on Channel 99 once they get their schedule set. It will also begin appearing on our own Channel 18 3 times a day. Pretty sure Mia said 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m., but I will send out that information. I'll give that information to Terry, and she can send it out to all Melissa admirers and participants. So whether you're an early riser or an early to bed, there'll be a couple of times a day when you can exercise with Melissa at home. And then once the other Channel 99 gets them put together, It'll be every day from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 2 half-hour segments. So it's a way to exercise and a way to meet other exercise people, directors.
Mm.
And there is no charge because it's just on plain old TV. Sorry,
I don't see
Evelyn.
Susan anymore.
I'm sorry?
I don't see you anymore.
I took my picture off because I wasn't talking. There I am.
Oh, okay.
There you
All
go.
right.
You look like a radio DJ there. Yeah.
I know, it saves my staff from having all the voices in the background.
Okay. But that's about it. We had talked about potential for a musical program, but unfortunately, without being able to open the all the rules and without being able to open the center, that's all on hold until things improve.
Yeah.
Good. All right, anything else? Pretty much it. Okay, so we talked about, the main thing I really wanted to talk about was, we already did, with supporting Brian and what to say, because I haven't really taken part of these or even listened to the select board meetings. So that is a good explanation. Does anyone else have any questions about that for Suzanne? So I guess,
No.
okay. All right, so I'll have to remember about that. And otherwise, I think we're any more ideas that people have about things we can do during this epidemic for the seniors?
It almost seems like until the building is open, any sort of participatory thing isn't going to be possible, at least for now.
So Suzanne, just tell us if there's anything we can do.
Yeah.
I will, I will be happy to share that. I have, right now, we have a lot of really loyal volunteers, and we have a pool of people that we can tap for one-time volunteer activities. And because we're not doing much right now, we're okay for volunteers.
Okay.
I just wanted to remind everybody that, in case you're not aware, the election is November 3rd. And
How could we? Oh, yeah.
polls in person here.
Oh, I
We
forgot.
forget that.
No. I'm just saying the polls will be open here at the senior center. And also there is in-person voting in town hall right now. And you can also put your mail-in ballot in a special box that's been installed behind town hall.
Yep, did that.
So people who don't want to stand in line with all their friends and neighbors on November 3rd can easily vote beforehand.
Right.
I wonder if anyone is going to be left to do that. I mean, we voted Monday at the town hall, and there was already about, I don't know, she said maybe 150 people had already voted.
There's 2,000 on the voter registration list.
Oh,
Cal and
Yeah,
I
but
put
how
our
many-
ballots in the box last week. So we've already voted and we checked online and our ballots were accepted.
It's interesting, I know, how nobody's actually put them in a mailbox, because
No.
we haven't gotten mail for 3 days, but I guess is mail still. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah, there is. There.
Our ballots came in the mail.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, mine came, right.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. We got
Yep.
ours.
Right. Me too.
Be glad when it's over. All right. Anybody else have anything else? Otherwise, the other thing I wanted to ask everybody is, should we continue meeting once a month, or what's the feeling about that?
I don't think we need to meet once a month, is my feeling.
Well, we
Yeah.
felt like we did,
Yeah.
because it had been such a long time. And I think, the heck is that?
Somebody's phone.
Somebody's phone. Is it yours, Robin?
It's not my ring.
Not mine.
Maybe it's my husband's.
Mine isn't turned
Why
on.
it's coming through the computer, I don't know, but
Anyway.
So
Tom.
It'll go to
My-
voicemail. It'll go to voicemail. Don't worry about it.
might
Anyway.
I suggest that we meet every other month?
You could
I-
suggest anything you want.
I would like to second that suggestion
It's suggested.
until the
Well, then it'll be
crisis is
December,
over.
so they're probably going to cancel Christmas, so won't be a problem.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
It would be December 16th.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Because there's
we'll
5
plan on
Wednesdays
that.
in December this year, so it's not bad.
That's Beethoven's birthday. We could celebrate.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
Are you
That's
going to
perfect.
play for us, Brian?
Good old Ludwig. I'll have Dal play a Beethoven sonata for us.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, been listening to that and the
What-
Snow Library thing. I know all I need to know now about Beethoven. Okay,
So are we going to meet December 16th? Is that it?
Laura, I see your hand. I'm so excited
Time.
that I see it.
If we're meeting at the state, what time would it be? 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock for better for Suzanne? Just, I'm going to I want it right on my calendar.
10
Well,
o'clock's fine with me if it works for the rest of you.
is better.
Yeah.
Nine,
And,
Works for me.
as
10
long
is
as we
better.
remember it's 10, yeah.
I've got my coffee.
Yeah? Okay.
All right.
So the third Wednesday is actually just the 16th, huh?
Yes, because
Yeah.
the
Oh,
first Wednesday is the 2nd, so there's a lot of Wednesdays in December this year.
oh, okay. Great.
So have we decided that we will meet December 16th at 10 a.m.?
I believe so.
That
Yes.
sounds good.
Yeah,
If
and
anybody if anyone
if
has anything they want to bring up, please email me.
well,
and
with
I
any
will
luck,
put it on the
you'll be
agenda.
discussing the new sign and
Oh, yes, we will.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and all of Brian's travel plans. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then.
All righty.
Hmm?
So I make a motion that we adjourn.
Well, let's think about that, Will.
You have to vote on it, Robin. Don't
Oh,
forget, you gotta
God.
hold a vote now.
That's right. Does anyone want to second that motion?
Yes, I'm
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Goodbye,
Meeting
all.
adjourned.
Thanks,
All
everyone.
right.
Thank
No, we
you.
have
Have
to
a great
move to
rest of your
Don't
day.
address till the 3rd.
May I make a motion that we adjourn?
Yeah, we
Wait a
did.
minute.
What? I think we did.